Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know I had that really sad post yesterday, but we're back. We're going to be doing our meta breakdown for Ascent Chicago that happened over this past weekend, our biggest Grand Archive event to date. I'm going to keep on saying it as much as Shikaplu says it in every single event. I'm going to keep on saying as much as possible, but this has been our largest event to date for Grand Archive. I'm really happy to see we had, I think the list ended up being 282 players, ended up signing up for the event, coming on out in Chicago and giving it their all to try and win the Spirit of Fire. As you see up on the screen here, once again, we're using sylvie.gg. Thank you again for having the site up and available for me to save time in the editing booth. But don't mind these colors. The colors are a little bit off, a little bit bugs. It's all being worked out. But we had 83 fire decks. We had 52 norm decks, 57 water decks, and 89 wind decks. So wind being the most used represented deck by about 6. In the advanced element chart, we ended up having 49 Crux. We had 53 Umbra and 62 Terra with 9 Neos, 9 Luxum, 5 Astra, wow, and 8 Arcane. sorry, caught me off guard with that. So we did end up seeing Sylvie being the highest brought percentage deck, as there were 62 Terras, and then we had 49 Crux. Lorraine technically, I think, had the highest champion representation. You catch that over on the stream if you want the video breakdown. I'm not stealing the images from the stream for that. I think Lorraine had the highest percentage brought, followed by Sylvie, but we can actually use it here. We have the champion chart breakdown. So the level 1 champion charts, we had Lorraine with 89, we had Sylvie with 62, 40 Tornaris, and 47 Tristan. A couple lists run Lorraine, Tristan, and other versions. We'll see that broken down later on in the list here, but Sylvie's mostly brought into the slime list as a whole. And then going on into our lineage breakdown, we had a total of 52 Spirit of Slime Sylvies into Sylvie Slime Sovereign, 34 Wind Tristans, 26 hybrid Merlin / Lorraines, 22 Water Nikos. We had 12 Spirit of Fire, Imagine Aggro Lorraines, 11 Wind Lorraines, as well as level 2. So make it pretty much about 21 Wind Lorraines. More likely these are ally builds that we expect. We had a total of 9 Spirit of Fire Merlins, 7 Water Tonys, 7 Spirit of Fire Rye Storm, 6 Fire Sylvies, 5 Fire Dianas, 5 Wind Tristan without Shadow Reaver. We had 4 Spirit of Wind Dianas, and 4 Spirit of Water Lorraines. I'm not going to go break down too much, as there's just too many lists to break down of one in a 282 man event. But we're going to get rid of those. And here is our final top cut rankings. We have Lifitril. I'm going to always mispronounce her name, and I inherently apologize. I just call him Sean. Sean ended up getting first place. Matt Errupting G in second. CTR God in third. Noel in fourth. Guruthros in fourth as well. Pickle Sword in sixth. Rex in seventh. And Hanky the Goat in eighth. And then this is also our breakdown at the end of day 2 going into Top Cut of what our top 32 sort of looked like here. But we're going to break down the top 8. We're going to break down the finalists, those who got the Spirit of Fire special card for getting top 8 of the event. So let's go right into the winning deck list of Sean. Before we get back to the rest of that video, I want to let everyone know that I have started a brand called Murasaki Altair. This is a brand dedicated to TCG accessories as well as apparel, sort of based by weebs for weebs. It's one of those things. We just released our Kingslayer, otherwise known as Merlin / Lorraine set. The drop is now live on the website, which you can find in the description below. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have stickers, and we have sleeves. So like I said, check that out below. The link is in the description. So Sean ended up bringing the Spirit of Wind Tristan deck with Shadow Lantern and Shadow Reaver, Assassin Dripper, Backup Charger, Grand Crusader's Ring, a Null Lantern, and Safeguard Amulet, Wind Recruits, and Shadow's Call. So I can already tell with the Assassin Dripper here, this is going to be the aggro list. The aggro list is one that is being brought out mostly to play the Slice of Dice a little bit aggressively. They get a lot of quick early turns without having to go into the level 3 and getting Shadow's Call, Shadow Strike combo pieces. In the main deck, we had 4 Dungeon Guides, 2 Incapacitates, 4 Mastermind Teams, 4 CD, 3 Slice Dice, like we talked about, the Slice Dice where they want to go the aggro game plan. 4 Black Market Broker, again, allows you to apply that early game plan pressure of getting aggro down, as well as get preparation counter for playing Black Market Broker. Quasi Outlook, 4 Dream Fairy, 2 Ensnaring Fumes, 4 Fairy Whispers, 3 Reclaims, 1 Scout to Land, 4 Traps, 4 Surveil, 3 Veiling, 4 Windmill, and 2 Zephyr with 1 Shadow Resonance and 4 Shadow Strike. This card is being used over the Umbra site. This also lets you recover to, as well as lets you go ahead and draw a card. If you need to as well, it lets you get an extra Ominous Shadow token instead of going cards like the Gloamspire Mantle. In the sideboard, you had 2 Imperial Spies, 2 Incapacitates, 3 Reprograms, 1 Ensnaring Fumes, 3 Eternal Magistrates, 2 Zephyr, and 2 Shadow Resonance extra as well. So congrats on Sean for this very interesting list. This is sort of more the aggro Tristan that we talked about before, something that we saw back during the Yeti online region that we did cover breakdown as well, but as well as still going more into the if it needs to, it could pivot. So I want to say this is almost more of a mid-range list, because the fact it might even be mid-range. It might be misrepresenting my terms here. But the list can go aggro if it wants to. It could also stall the game out and then go into the Shadow Strike if it wants to later on as well. So there's a couple different plans that this deck can go ahead and accomplish if it needs to. But congratulations to Sean for getting first of the event. Congratulations. And into their opponent was Matt Errupting G on Surprise Surprise Errupting. So Matt, Cactus, and Bob Sherble ended up bringing over the Errupting list. I think there was only 3 in this whole event, which was them. So 3 Errupting lists are brought, and a very innovative list that we've seen. I thankfully got to be firsthand seeing this list built, see what it did, everything what it sort of wanted to do. So what sort of happened here is that this is Spirit of Fire, Lorraine, Tristan, Terraforming Channeling Zone, Discordia, Flash Grenade, and Crusader's Ring, Save Your Inlet, Smoke Bombs, Sword of Seeking, Winds Bauble. So you might be asking why Smoke Bomb, why the Save Your Inlet and why the Flash Grenade, but we're going to get into that very shortly and why these cards were included into the material deck of this list, as well as the Tristan, because Agility 3 is really good. So the main deck is sort of what we expect from Erupting list. We have 2 Library Witches, 3 Resolute Sands, 2 Stalwart Shieldmates, Cemetery Sentries, Apprentices, Shocks, Rituals, Ember Song of Rhapsody, Fire Momentum, Fireballs, a Flamebreak Chorus, Hasty Messenger, Increasing Danger, Reduce to Ash, Tempered Seal, Under Fire, and Vermilion Decree. So the way this game plan sort of works here is the normal Erupting list. You have your Library Witches, you have your Shieldmates, go ahead and stack them to Cremation Rituals, Hasty to go ahead and put some cards in the grave, same as your Clumsy Apprentice, a lot of different targets for your Cremation Ritual, and to draw cards and filter cards out, as well as Creative Shocks, and then you have cards as well as Increasing Danger and Vermilion Decree that let you go ahead and deal 3 to your opponent or deal 2 to an ally if you need to clear the board space if you don't want to give your opponent an extra card draw. But the really innovative part about this list is twofold. First, we're running Under Fire. This card is a 3-drop, fast speed. If your champion becomes distant, then you may have Under Fire deal 4 damage to your champion. If you do, your champion gains stealth until the end of the turn. So if you want, you can go ahead and pay 4 life, and then go ahead and go stealth. But because the fact you're running cards like Safeguard Amulet and Flash Grenade, you can instead pop these in response, take less damage, if not negate the damage entirely because it is preventable damage, to still get the stealth without taking that little bit of extra damage on your turn. Furthermore, as you look further in the list, we have 3 Fireballs. I think a Fireball, normal card for Erupting to do. But the part that it's a little interesting is that we have Tristan Underhand. With Agility 3, and we saw this a couple times on stream, where Matt would have 2 cards in hand, a Fireball plus X. They would do the Erupting combo, make it look like they have enough to kill, pass the turn, and try and make your opponent look like your shield's on, maybe misrepresenting your math. But in actuality, at the end of your turn, you will Agility 3, get 3 cards back in hand. We now have 5 cards in hand, where that allows you to then put 4 down Fireball. Before end of turn, before your Erupting Rhapsody stacks fall off, you can then Fireball for game and lethal, especially if opponents want any end of turn combat tricks. So it's a very interesting line. It's a very cool, unique situation of how this played out, as well as you can still go Fire Momentum with the Lorraine level 1. So this is a very cool list that they ended up bringing in the sideboard. You have 2 Just Like Communions and an Atlassian, Ashalobe, most likely deal with any Fracturized Lanterns, 4 Incapacitates, which will also be brought on for the mirror because you are Tristan level 1. You could bring it for the mirror, bring it for Fire Xander, as well as other Tristan's lists. So you have a sort of negate spell ready to, or negate action card, I should say, ready to go in case your opponent plays their own incap. You could then negate it and not have to worry about it. 4 Innovative Agilities and 2 Reduce to Ash. So congratulations from Matt Errupting G for this list. Very unique, very inspiring of a list. Something that was very new, brought out to this event, and really overperformed. A lot of people not bringing a lot of graveyard hate in forms of Nullifying Lantern or Cleansing Reunion. On to deck number 3. CTR God did end up bringing the Sylvie list. Oh, and I will mention, by the way, for those who haven't been paying attention, we do have prices up here now. I'm no longer putting them in the videos, so if you want the pricing, they are at the very top, so you're aware. Spirit of Slime Sylvie, same thing we expect, the same list across the board. Beast Point Ears this time in the main board. Covenant of Thorns, Guide's Blessing, Stone's Command, and Verdant Scepter is in the main as well. Going into the main deck, you had 4 Baby Grays, 2 Beast of Fury, 3 Bliss of Calling, 4 Dungeon, and 3 Escape the Wreckage. This one did run 1 Red Slime, which does get on Death Trigger to clear boards, mostly good versus D mirror matchups especially. 3 Baby Blues, 3 Slime Eruptions, Gather Slimes, Baby Green, Slime Shield. This one is running 2 Vampiric Slimes, 2 Slime Kings, and 4 Ethereal Slimes. Not running the Luscious Slime and getting more of the on-hit triggers available with the Vampiric Slime, as well as the clear, as well as 1 Terracite, so you get to recoup the preserve to keep on drawing a card if you need to. This is a very cool list to take, a very unique list brought onto Sylvie. So this is going to be one of the very few Sylvie lists we're going to cover. I'm going to cover a lot of these Sylvie lists very briefly because a lot of them have the same overall game plan, and mostly talk about the unique factors of the deck. In the sideboard here, they end up having 1 Beast of Frenzy, 3 Reprogram, 1 Red Slime, 2 Slime Blessing, 1 more Slime Shield, 1 more Slime King, 2 Himagai's Base, mostly brought in, I assume, for Tristan, or more aggro matchups. 2 Lustrous Slime for aggro as well, and 2 Twilight Slimes mostly brought up for the mirror. But congratulations on placing 3rd. In 4th place, we had Noel. So Noel also on the Slimes list with the Horned Beast Calling, with Beast Bomb Boots in the side. Their list is a little bit different, but that is they're not running Baby Red, but they are running Ordinary Bear. So Ordinary Bear does come in, you can bring it in at level 1, get the buff because it's a 3-4 unit with floating memory that becomes very hard to clear and is able to clear a lot of your opponents, especially in the mirror matchup, where you're facing versus Slimes on the other end. You clear up a lot of your opponent's Slimes without trading your Ordinary Bear in response, or if they want to trade into it, and you go ahead and die and get a floating memory. This also goes to cleaning up Limitless Slime. It can clean up some early game Storm Slimes, Twilight Slimes, Baby Red Slimes, even not as much Luster Slimes, but it does give you a way to clear some of your opponent's early pressure. Clear them off the board so your opponent has to go level 2 Sylvie. They no longer have a Beast ally on the board to get the extra draw card with Sylvie level 2s on enter effect. This one's running 3 Guys Slime mode, though 2 Hidden Guys Grace and 2 Slime King in the main, and the 1 Twilight Slime, expecting the mirror matchup. In the sideboard, you had the Beast Button here is brought up for the Does Like Community Text, 1 Fast, 2 Fast Creatures, 1 Ordinary Bear, 4 Reprograms, 2 more Slime Eruption, 1 Guy Summon, and 2 Verdant Slimes. Congratulations to No for this list. Rex is also on the same list, so we're going to skip Rex's list later on. But congratulations to No for getting slot number 4. And Guru is also on Slimes. Yes, we're going to have a lot of Slimes lists. This one is running 2 Reprograms in the main as part of its second. It's a little bit differently here. This one is also running 2 Metal Bloom Dryad in the main. So this one allows you to go ahead and get an extra buff counter on any of your Slimes that enter the field. So let's just try and survive things like Stifling Trap a little bit. But mostly the main part is that you get to make big units, big Lustrous Slimes, big Slime Kings, being Ethereal Slimes. You're going to try and get faster game plans down to swing into your opponent's board, go into your opponent's life total, go in and get them down on damage counters, and then have a big unit that's also hard for your opponent to clear on the reverse. In the sideboard, we have 1 Beast Spawn Energy, 2 Reprograms, 2 Resolute Stands, 3 Slimes Bustling, 2 Twilight Slime, 2 Vampiric Slime, and 1 Verdant Slime. Mostly the Resolute Stands are brought in for the ally matchup as well as the Slime Mirror. Same with the Twilight Slimes and Slimes Bustling as well. Congratulations to Gro, though, for taking number 5. Next, we have Pickle Sword. Pickle Sword is also on the Slimes list that we talked about before. I think Pickle's on the exact same list. Yes, Pickle Sword is part of Chess Clubs. This is the same list we talked about over Noel. So if you want to break down about this list, go ahead and view on over to Noel's list, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, they are running Lustrous Slime as well. Next, we have Rex, once again, on the same list. So congratulations to the 3 members of Chess Club, though, for getting pretty much top spots in this event. 3 of the 8 top slots ended up going to Chess Club members, all on the same list. So congratulations to Chess Club for the hard work and dedication you have put into this list and put into refining your game plan to go ahead and get top slots into this event. It was great seeing everyone there for this. Last number 9, we have Hanky. Hanky the Goat is on Fire Sylvie. So it's a little bit different. We are running Beast Bomb Paws in the main, and we are still having Boots and Backup Charger. This one is Fire. If you run Fire, you can run cards like Creative Shock, you can run Baby Red, you can run regular Red Slime and Cremation Ritual. You're going to get a couple on Death Strokers, as well as discard any floating memory into your graveyard to get easier level ups. So you're not as reliant on Dungeon Guide to go down on Influence. So you have to keep in mind that you can go ahead and Creative Shock, discarding something like your Stalwart Showman, or discarding something like a Slime Eruption for the floating memory. You have Escape the Wreckage, you have Limitless Slime, Blissful Calling, and Turbocharge in the main as well. But most of the main game plan revolves around getting a lot of fast draws and then using your Storm Slimes and Ethereal Slimes to go ahead and finish the game, because you're not using something like Slime King as much, because you don't have a lot of slimes to go ahead and discard a Fuel the Slime King on enter effect. In the sideboard, you have 2 Resolutions, 2 Scavenger Raccoons, 2 Blanche, mostly brought in for the mirror matchup, to reduce the Ash, 2 Immortalization Traps, mostly probably brought in for anything that's by Merlin, 2 Guys Songbird, 2 Him Guys Grace, and 1 Twilight Slime. But that's all I'm going to talk about for this one. This is going to be a very quick breakdown video. There's not too much to go over because we had a lot of slime lists. But congratulations to everyone who ended up topping the event. It was nice meeting everyone over at Ascent Chicago. I was really happy to meet everyone there. If you want, go ahead and check out the video or the VOD over on Grand Archive TCG's channel. There's 2 live videos for those if you want to watch any of the future matches. 1, 2, 3, go. Now, before I go ahead and wrap up actually this video, I do want to give a shout out over the Luxera's map. I know I've been using Sylvie GG a lot, but I always want to give a shout out over to the boys over there. This is the original website I've had for tournament reports, their articles, everything of the sort. So if you want another source that's pretty much a big contributors with articles and such as well as Sylvie.gg, make sure you go ahead and check out Luxera's map. They have a lot of the breakdowns of the latest tournament reports, as well as they have, for instance, they break down the decks, and you can go ahead and do imports into Shout on its own. You could do import open list and deck builder. There's open the list over on Shout at your decks. Sorry, Pickle, I'm mispronouncing the site. But yeah, now with that being said, I hope everyone has a good one, and I'll talk to you later.